Greetings, fellow Wolfkin, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Magic, Episode 8, Wolfbane. Ignatio's ready for graduation. Sweet. Alright, Locke, let's get down here and drink that. Question for you. What school of magic to go with next for students? So, fire would probably be one of the stronger combat candidates. Board Drake is also a fire. We could continue with water, which would also be really good in combat and also good for alchemy. Earth would be another tank, so that if Locke can't fight, someone else can. As I mentioned, it's going to be really challenging to try to find a tank with the right speed stats to rival Locke, however. Air, I wouldn't say... Air is probably the least helpful. They're not very good in combat, and they're not really good in general utility, as the air spells are only for assembly, paint, and haul. And assembly and hauling is something that, like, everyone can do relatively easily. Dark is really good for utilities if we start to do quilteries. Quilteries is like quilting up tiny little beasts that do like hauling, harvesting, etc. Nature would be good for someone to be very efficient at cutting down trees, harvesting plants, etc. You know, someone to tend the crops. And then lightning is pretty good in combat and also useful to summon talented students. So it's you use lightning to summon a gifted student. Let's go ahead and graduate with honors. So Locke just suffered a conviction loss. So I'm going to have Locke be the one to graduate. And we're going to get 22 adept scrolls from a fully honored student, which is quite a bit. Quite a bit. It's pretty good. One more minute on that pulp. And I don't believe I have any wands. No, I'd have to make a new wand, which is fine. Fog is dangerously close, so tomorrow we're going to have to push back, and that means I need to harvest gut berries. I have not been paying too much attention to my gut berry. So, Shield, I'm going to put you in charge of getting the gut berries for tomorrow's ritual. So the fog doesn't overtake us and we lose, you know, because, like, that would suck. We'll try it with water again. So at our wand shaper, queue up another wand for water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this, however, because water wands use gut berries as well, and I want to make sure that I have enough gut berries to push back the fog. Because, you know, we'd lose otherwise. So Drake is now fully healed. There is one reason to have Drake get up from the hospital in the middle of the night and sleep in his bed. He won't get the benefits of sleeping in a bed, of owning a bedroom, unless I rouse him like that, now that he's fully healed. Fog does not affect the caves below, no. It's a surface thing. Luckily. I'm going to do the same thing with Locke, sending Locke to try to get to his bedroom before daytime. For a little bit of like, hey, I slept in my own bed. Which will only technically be true. But if you take a look at the status and convictions, there should be a, like, slept in my own bed. There it is. Slept in bedroom. So 5 extra conviction for micromanaging them. Seems worth to me. All right. Right after mealtime, around the time of the first class, I'm going to do the fog push instead. So I'll let them have their recreation hour so that they aren't moody, which is going to be particularly important for those that got hurt, like Locke, because his conviction is -10 as a result of that battle. As soon as they're done recreating, they're already standing next to the mana font, so that's easy. Yeah, we'll do, yeah. So I do think I have enough gut berries left over for the wand. I have like 1 extra gut berry. So we'll get that wand crafted. Oh no, apparently I'm missing, oh, you know what, I'm missing, oh no, maybe I am missing gut berries. So, very good that I did not make the wand first. Actually, it looks like there's enough gut berries out here, so I'm not really sure what that's about. Alright. We got a bleak crystal, a dismal crystal, animus crystals, which are battles, and a murky. I don't care about any of the choices. Now we are making bitter gruel, and I think what I'm going to do... So Kelly has already eaten bitter gruel twice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new food restriction just for Kelly of bitter gruel only. I'm going to allow other people to eat it, but Kelly can only eat bitter gruel. That way, Kelly's trial of eating 5 bitter gruel is fulfilled. I'm not going to be able to do group learner on Kelly. I have no idea how I even got 1 progress towards that. I think probably just people were like passing through the room and they were present. But group learner for 6 staff or students present isn't something that we can work towards with our current school. So there's no point in even entertaining that idea. So let's get those water students back in. See if we can get a good one. So Cathanon, summon us a gifted water student. And we're yeah, we're, I don't know, like 2/3 of the way living up the place, going towards lightning rod. Now, of course, lightning rods are going to require a lot of iron, and we're going to need to get that iron down below. Leo. So Leo, if Leo eats 10 gut berries, we'll get 50 HP. Also has a group learner for power and mana. That one we won't be able to achieve. And then has a pet refining beast 3 times for mana and HP. So Leo is not really a good contender, is actually worse than Kelly in my opinion, and not worth pulling over. But what I can do is I can put Leo on a gutberry only diet. There is a warning about that, of course, is gutberries suck to eat. So whereas Leo has a trial for it, it's also going to upset him at the same time. Jocelyn got her creature comforter, and she's almost high enough level to graduate. A ritual for her to participate. There really aren't any rituals that she... Well, that's not true. She could participate in a repel fog ritual right after she wakes up. So, or he. Kind of looks like a he. I don't know. So Jocelyn, right after Jocelyn wakes up, I will do a repel fog. So what I can do is once Jocelyn has learned all the schools of magic and is ready to be graduated, I can just wait until I do a repel ritual with Jocelyn, fulfilling that last trial. That's more bang for my buck. Which can be done tomorrow morning, so that's convenient, because the fog is back. Check ungut berries. I have 9 of the 9 I need. But there is some... No, there's actually none to be harvested. So as soon as Jocelyn hits rested, we should hit the ritual so that Leo doesn't eat the last gutberry. Or, alternatively, put Leo on bitter gruel for the day, and then just remember to turn it back. How many students can you have? You can just keep adding them, but the requirements to add them becomes increasing for each additional student, where the time it takes to summon them and the, goes up, and the staff required to summon them goes up. And also, like, the space, the food, all the other things like that. Alright, Jocelyn's up. So... Oh, someone just took a gutberry. So let's see if I can't muster up another gutberry somewhere. Who took a... Oh, you know what? We're probably making gutberry soup. So let's pause that. I think it's probably too late. Oh, Bored Drake is eating it. Bored Drake. Maybe go and not eat that. I think what I could do is I could tell Bored Drake to just chop down a tree, dropping the gutberry on the ground, and then we'll do a superior repel fog. So Jocelyn needs to be a part of this, and begin the ritual. So as a result of this, Bored Drake has no food. What I could do for... So the reason the Vivified don't typically eat anything but like gutberries is they don't get mood penalties from eating gutberries, which is why the Vivified meals are just gutberries only. But because we're having struggle fulfilling that, I'm going to put them in carcass stew, so that we can preserve the gutberries for rituals instead. You had also mentioned potentially making a garden. And so we're going to summon gifted water students and build greenhouse. I'm going to keep the greenhouse very simple and somewhat temporary for the first iteration, and then we could go more complicated afterwards. More permanent solution. Jocelyn is still rested and should remain rested to the end of that. And there we go. Rested Ritualist is now completed. So Jocelyn needs to cast like once or twice to be graduated. So very, very close to being done with that. Because we know that we're very low on gutberries, it's worth looking around to see if any of them got revealed from the fog, and it doesn't look like it. Then check the crystals, and we get 2 murkies. I don't really care about murkies, so proceed, schedule as usual. School of Magic for next student, because I'm about to summon in another student to replace Jocelyn, so you guys can vote on that. And now Jocelyn is ready to graduate with honors. Can gutberries be grown in the garden? They can. And that's exactly what we're doing. Oh, we have another Spectral Rift. This is a battle level 2. And likely it's going to be a nasty fight because just like last time, we don't have the ability to tank. So Kelly also has fully trained up, but it's probably worth Kelly to eat one more bitter gruel before being graduated. So I'm just going to have Kelly eat an extra meal. Because the adept scrolls that I could get for graduating Kelly right now is 8 scrolls. And if Kelly eats a single berry meal here, or a single bitter gruel meal, that will be another trial passed. And then if I take a look, it's 9 scrolls. So for the cost of a single meal, I get an extra scroll. Seems to be a pretty good deal to me. Also, I would say before I graduate Kelly, it's probably worth Kelly being involved in the next battle. Because Kelly is the strongest of the student casters, and I need some extra help. So, let's jump into this. I could also, hypothetically, take Locke out of the fight and put in Leo, who has more HP. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'm also gonna bring every rejuvenation potion I have. And that way it will keep Locke from suffering 2 downs in the same, day, essentially. So, Kelly also has access to consecrated drops, which is a very, very, very high mana cost, but does add armor. So I'm going to do that on the front row. So now the front row has 30 armor, which isn't a lot, but it's certainly better than nothing to help protect from some incidental damage. Because the damage adds up. I mean, even with that 30 armor, Drake has already taken 90 damage. It would have been 120 without the armor. So chess masters attack an enemy, and then that attack chains twice. It bounces around, as you can see. So they're lower HP, but their chaining attacks are very, very annoying. Alright, Chessmaster's dead, and now there's only the Torch Stuffer in the back. It sucks to not have a dedicated tank, as I'm sure you can tell. Luckily, we're just plowing through it with high damage. Going with the power route. Also, I probably didn't need to drink that potion, only because Kelly is about, and Leo are... Well, no, that's Leo, never mind. Kelly is the one that's about to graduate, so... Being injured is, like, not an issue if they're about to graduate. So let's go ahead and graduate Jocelyn with honors. Allowing Locke to do the ceremony, because Locke has the conviction penalty from being downed. 20 adept scrolls. Boom. We're getting lots of adept scrolls to be able to summon in strong students. And then Kelly, because Kelly's last medallion is not going to be fulfilled, it's the same one that Leo has. There's really no point in waiting to graduate with honors for Kelly. So I'm going to have Board Drake graduate Kelly. You guys want nature? So I'm going to have you pick the second one. We're going to do one nature wand and then one other wand. So nature wand is wormweed pods and wood. And then you get to pick the other. So the reason why I shrunk this roof here and create another door is so that I can have just a really sort of cheap makeshift balcony farm. So we'll get a tiny little farm up there. This is not where I plan to have a permanent garden, but because everything is refunded 100%, I can build a temporary one and then like move it around once we have a better spot for it. We're almost done with the research that leads to lightning rods, which is very handy. I'm very tired of being hit by lightning. Also, I am going, because we are low on, we're low on stone. I'm going to preserve some of my stone, sort of a cheap and easy way, to destroy this wall and door here, making the classroom a little bit larger. And we get all that stone back. So then I can subsequently, invest that stone into a larger garden area. We could even remove this wall here, but I'm not going to. I don't need stone that badly. But now it's a slightly larger classroom. It's still plenty lit, so there's no issue. And we get to reallocate our stone. So in terms of gardens, if we wanted a gutberry planter, we actually need more stone. So let me cancel this, actually, and build a gutberry planter here. We'll have one planter with gutberries. We haven't yet made that nature wand, and that's because we're out of wormweed pods. And if I get a lot of wormweed pods, we can repel the fog with wormweed and viscera instead of gutberries, saving me gutberries, which would be better. So I'm going to have Shield spend some time getting wormweed pods. So I'm going to temporarily pause this nature wand so that we can do a repel ritual and preserve some of our gutberries. Right, looks like it's going to be water as well. So one nature, one water. Farms, there's only one type of crop that gets damaged by rain, and it's a crop that you get much later on. So, generally speaking, no, crops aren't damaged by rain, except for rock candy crops, which are way the heck down the research tree. They are here. So, don't need to worry about that for a bit. Most plants require sunlight to grow, But there are some plants that need moonlight instead. So when you're trying to grow things, you don't want them necessarily underneath your buildings. Because if they're, like if these bitter rice plots were here instead, they wouldn't grow as fast. They would grow at half speed because they'd only be getting partial sun. Because I'm really eager to preserve the gut berries that we currently have, I'm going to have Cathanon also focus on getting wormweed so that we can repel this fog by not using another gut berry. The restrictions on gut berry can be lifted? No, probably not yet. As I only have 6 spare gut berries, which is not too many. Okay, here we go. Everybody, new ritual. And now that we've queued up the ritual, I can start crafting the nature and water wands. So shield, go get the wormweed for the nature wands. Most of the students and faculty that are wounded are only wounded by a few points. So it also might be worth getting those wounds cleared, because the conviction penalties for being in pain don't scale depending on the severity of the wound. So if you're missing 1 HP or 100 HP, you're still going to have a minus 10. So if you're very close to being fully healed, just, you know, just get that missing HP and you'll get a lot happier as a result. I'm also going to go after these ice petals, these ice flowers, because they're required for the rejuvenation potions. The crystals that were revealed are all smoke pearl, so I don't really care about them. They don't have anything fun to get from them. And is there anyone that makes wands better? Locke makes wands more effectively. So I'll have Locke craft the 2 new wands, so we can get a full roster of students. Because Leo here, I think, is going to graduate really soon. Oh, no, that's not true. Okay, that's one of the 2 wands. Now for the water wand. Now that rain is incoming, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set priority hall to very high, because rain destroys anything organic that's out in the that gets rained on. Like, it won't destroy like stone, things like that, but anything like ice petals will get wrecked by rain. So what I could do is shield is the best hauler, so I'll put shield on emergency hauling, because things like bitter rice and the like are very delicate and get destroyed very quickly in rain. And he can phase through floors to put things away much more efficiently than anyone else can. And here comes the rain. So here, as you can see, the gutberry planter, it doesn't matter if it's rained on it or not. Now, there are different types of crops. There are crops that can be planted inside, like gutberries, and there's plots that can only be planted outside, like bitter rice. As you can see, bitter rice doesn't have a planter. It goes straight into the ground. So you can't plant bitter rice in a room, whereas gut berries you can plant in a room. So if I wanted to, I could build a wall here and then build a roof over it and then stick a window there behind it, and it would still grow just the same. So I did just lose 5 gut berries to water, even though I have emergency high priority hauling, just because that's what water does. You cannot carve out more rooms underground. No. The dungeons are procedurally generated, but static. You don't, at least in its current iteration, you don't build underground. You can place things underground, but you can't put walls or doors in, as you can see. Construction not allowed here. I do think at some point that might change, because there are some references in tooltips about building underground, but currently that isn't part of the game, and I have no idea if it's ever going to be. I'm gonna micromanage shield here to store some of the higher value stuff first, the ice petals, because the ice petals control how much of the rejuvenation potions we're able to brew, and I'm relying on those pretty heavily to recover from battle, so making sure to get that. So the wands got made as soon as Cathanon is done waking up for the day and eating a meal. Oh, another battle. Dear Lord. Alright, well. I'm actually going to wait a little bit on that, just so that I can get some more healing potions. Because I really just don't have the healing potions to be able to contend with that battle just yet. I'm going to brew up another, because these won't, if you leave them alone, it actually tells you what it will do. So this Spectral Rift will spawn a Messy Meddler that will attack my school by making a mess. Which is really not that big of a deal. It's not destroying anything, it just causes some extra cleaning. Whereas others will destroy your chests or destroy your torches, which is more destructive in my opinion. A little bit of cleaning is like not a problem. And it does take some time to spawn, so I do have 1.5 hours to address it. So in waiting, I was able to brew up some extra rejuvenation potions. So now if I go to battle here, I have 4 potions instead of 1. And I'll have shield just keep brewing up more potions. Oh, good. There is not a torch stuffer in this group, though. Because they're the most annoying. But they're mana leech, high damage. Ouch. Not looking so good. And he's down again. Before he could even do anything. So the Messy Meddler does corrosion, which is a damage over time, and then the Chest Smasher, as I read last fight, does a chaining attack. So I'm going to soak it so that it does less damage for its chaining attack. Ooh, and a crit. Nice. So So 19. Because the soak, because it attacks 3 times, the soak is way more effective because it reduces the damage on each chain. Soak does not stack, however, so there's no real advantage to using soak multiple times, other than to make it to refresh how many rounds it's active. Come on, crit! Oh, you didn't crit. Now you get hit again. So to address chat here, next change the Earth Mage. So the thing about the Earth Mage is I've been saying Earth Mages need to be very fast for them to be effective. And the chance of me getting a really fast Earth Mage is quite low. So Locke is failing at his duties only because of this curse, but this Bane of the Wolfkin curse is temporary. So I could work to try to get other Earth Mages, but like it'd be fixing a problem that doesn't happen very often. So it's not to say I necessarily disagree. I just he usually is able to do his tanking just fine. We're just in a unique situation where he can't cast armor. Or a rare situation, maybe, not unique. I don't really care about lecturing Leo right now. Alright, Locke is no longer at death's door, and I'm going to have him immediately drink a rejuvenation potion. Everyone else's injuries is not serious enough to warrant other potions to be consumed. Because when you're at really, really low HP, the chance for you to have a misfire is very, very high. So now, as you can see, Mana Thirst. So, a trauma that causes all the mage's spells to cost 1 more mana. And then the original Waning Hope. And this is the lovely power of brewing in your basement. All of this horrible grime, as you can see, doesn't matter because we never get oozes underground. So there is a crazy amount of filth here, and it won't affect us at all. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Magic, which originally streamed live on Twitch April 2nd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow mages.